Alright, today I'm going to show you guys how to make Rorschach Mask. First gonna need 2-liter empty, preferably empty 2-liter bottle of soda. You need some scissors, Sharpie, preferably another brand, not Sharpie, and not permanent marker because this kind of stinks. Some tape, notebook paper or any paper of this size, and you're also gonna need a pen. You're gonna need a pair of tights. This one is pre-cut. You try to get white, opaque, larger tights to use. Larger tights fit better, obviously, because your head won't be a squish, and it's easier to see and such. You would normally take your scissors and you cut off a larger portion of the leg. These are footless tights. My mistake in buying them. They actually work a lot better for me since I have longer hair. It holds it up for me. Because, what you want to get is tights with the foot section. So say the foot is here, you would probably cut here. If you had tights with the feet, you would cut somewhere around here. So that part would go over your head, obviously. But what you do is you cut the tights obviously away from the rest. You cut them as close as you can so that, they go over your head and comfortably to your neck. You do the same for the black tights, except these, you cut them so that they go to around about an inch over your chin. That's the black ones go over your chin. You only need one. So you take the pair and you cut one. So you're going to take your design that you find on the internet or make your own. You're going to use half. You're going to just try to see half in your mind's eye. You take your notebook paper, fold it in half this way. You guys can see. Just fold it up like this. What you're going to do now is draw half of the design exactly how half of the face really is. Alright, once you have your design, I'm doing just a smaller version of that. Also make sure, this is an important point, when you're drawing your design, the bottom half, this area, you should draw that relatively smaller than to how it really is in the photo, because when you put on the tights, it's going to stretch around the cheekbone area, so this is going to be longer by itself. It's just going to stretch out. Once you have your design on one side, you're going to get a surface. I use my computer screen, my laptop screen, and what I do is I trace. But if you can find any lighted surface to trace on, preferably not a computer screen like me, trace it on the other side. Once you have your design, something like this, I'm guessing, anything you want to do, just two things you can do from here. You can either go over it with Sharpie or just skip to the next step. I'm going to go over it with Sharpie just so I can see better. It's highly recommended you go over with a darker than just these, Once you go over it with Sharpie, you're going to take your bottle. This is where it comes into place. If you have anything similar to this, relevant to the size of your head, of course this is way smaller, but it helps very much. I've made a few successful masks with this. It's turned out pretty well. You take your bottle, you're going to put your design over it, flatten it out, right? And from the back part, from here, make sure it's straight, straighten it out. If not, your mask is going to be crooked. You're going to tape every corner. So after you put the tape on every corner, it should look just roughly like this. This part's a little hard. You're going to take your bottle, you're going to take your tights, the cut end, you're going to put your hands in there, stretch it, put it over, making sure the paper doesn't crumble. And if it does, you can always go back and fix it. But you just pull over. This is why you need strong tape, or else, when the bottle is, when you have the tights on good, it should look something like this, where you can see This is why I recommend using Sharpie on the paper. You can see it better. What you're going to do is you're going to trace over it with a Sharpie, and we're going to show you that now. So what you want to do, take your Sharpie. I have a double-ended Sharpie. I have this end, which is better for filling in color. A regular Sharpie would do fine. So you just trace your pattern, try to hold it with the other hand, with your left hand. You hold it, and as you trace, you try not to pull on the material. Alright, once you trace it, it should look something like this. So I already went ahead and started filling in the little areas, filling it in. But what you're going to do is, of course, fill it in with color. Now, say you make a mistake. You can always take another part of the tights and cut it, roughly the same. You should have enough material, if you bought the larger tights, to cut out a different part of the leg and use it. Alright, so once you fill it in with color, it should look something like this. If you really want to go all out, you can really get rid of all the little tiny spots, which is probably what I'm going to do later. So you're going to let it dry, give it about 10-15 minutes to air it out, and then take it off, let it kind of shrink a little bit because it's all stretched out, which is better because it'll fit your face now a lot easier than when you first put on the tights. This is pretty much it. I'll show you the mask right now, what it looks like on me. But before that, very important step. Do you remember those black tights we showed you in the beginning? What you're going to do is you put these on first, put this on second, so that it, sometimes it smears, and this will catch all of the Sharpie, so you don't breathe it in all the time. This should be the cleanest layer, and also your face will not show. Eyesight is pretty easy. If you have a problem seeing, what you do is, on the day that you're going to go dressed up, wherever you are going, you put on your black tights, right? You put on the white tights over them. You have somebody carefully cut the tights around just your eyes, and then on the third layer, you should be able to see just through this and the third layer. And that's pretty much it. Alright, so your mask should look something like this. See how... Alright, so your mask should look something similar to this. This one's not the best mask that I've made. I've made a few more that are better than this one. But I thought it was an easy, whatever, try. If you're not satisfied with the way your mask looks, you can try different designs, different size of designs. Just because when you first put it on, it's not exactly shaped, doesn't mean it can't be shaped. You can stretch out certain areas, put them the way you want. You can see that my facial features aren't really prominent. You can't really see. I can breathe fine, I can see clear. The only problem is at night sometimes it's a little difficult, just because there's not enough light. This is pretty much it for my tutorial on how to make the mask. I hope you enjoyed, and see you opening of Watchmen March 5th at midnight, which is technically March 6th. So, have fun.